Hi guys, I know it's been a long time. I think it's about 7 months since I did my last video. The last video I did was when I was telling you that I had lost my little dog, Casper. And after that, I kind of lost my mojo for a little bit. But I recently decided that I would start doing YouTube again. And one of the main reasons why is because I felt myself getting into like a funk and not having, you know, the energy to do anything. And I was talking to my daughter and she was like, you know, Mum, you need to do something for yourself. So because of that, I thought, okay, let's start doing YouTube again, because it does give me a direction and it keeps me focused on something that I have to get done. Hopefully I'll be able to do one video a week or so in and around that. So I thought I would start this new round of videos showing you my Hoya. I do have one philodendron here, but the rest are Hoya. So I thought I'd update you on them and show you a new one that I received that I'm really excited about. So guys, I still have lots of plants, so there's plenty of plants here for content, and I haven't fallen out of love with them. I still have them, but I thought I would show you today a couple of my favorites and show you the progress since we last touched base. This here is a Vitellinoides, and this, I love this particular leaf. I love the mottling on the leaf, and it is doing very, very well. I'm still using my homemade pond, and I actually have just ordered some more product for it. So maybe we'll do a little refresher video when that comes in. I've had to find the diatomaceous stone elsewhere. I think I have found it. So anyway, this is a beautiful veiny plant, as you can see, and it does very, very well. It is in my IKEA greenhouse. So this is actually the leaf that I wanted to show you, not the other one. Look at the gorgeous colors on this leaf. It's so beautiful, and it's quite dark, and you can see the lovely variegation here on the leaf. So in my cabinet, I actually have little sticky things on the back, and I clip this on. So my goal is to get it to grow up the back of the cabinet. Like, it started out, it wasn't as veiny when I first got it. I have it a couple of years, mind you, but now the more mature it's getting, the nicer the variegation on the leaves. I also have one that is called previously Vitellinoides, which actually has a different leaf again. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be the same plant, but anyway, I purchased this as a Vitellinoides, and I just think she's gorgeous. The second plant, now this hasn't been doing wonderful for me, but I do love it, and it is the Hoya Fuaences. Again, we have a theme going here. I love these type of leaves. They're my favorite, and I bought this as a one leaf cutting, and initially it did tremendously, but it seems to have slowed down. It did put out a round leaf, which is not typical for this plant, but it is really, really cute. What I've been finding is when I'm not seeing growth, and I'm not sure that it is flat mites, but I find that the sulfur just seems to get all plants going again. Maybe it's just a coincidence, or maybe they do have flat mites, but I'm just going to treat this again with the sulfur, and hopefully that will get this back on track, because as I say, I've had it quite a long time and it really is not growing as vigorously as I would have hoped. I showed you this in my last video, and it was a one leaf cutting, so 7 months. So this is done really, really well. This is the Hoya Rhyme. Look at this gorgeous leaf. Paula gave me this, and I'm not sure which leaf. I think it might have been this leaf that she gave me. And I've taken a cutting of it, as you can see, and she is putting out a new leaf. I don't know if you can see it there. My problem is I can't see what you can see because my eyesight is so bad. And I just think she is beautiful. Okay, so there we are, the Hoya Rhyme. I'm sounding a bit hoarse, guys, because my allergies have been going crazy. I wanted a video yesterday, but I was so sick yesterday that I had to take to the bed. So I'm allergic to ragweed, and I think we must be coming into ragweed season. Now this, guys. So this, I believe this is the Joy Splash. And again, no points for who gives me all these beautiful plants. So she gave me a one leaf cutting. Again, I'm not sure, possibly this leaf here. And this just took off. Now this is in what I call my retro cabinet. It doesn't have expensive lighting. In fact, it has under cupboard lighting in it. My plants just love it. Now they're not doing as well as I know they would do if I was using expensive lights for them. Like, you know, I get that, but I have them in my home, so all my plants are kind of included in my living areas. So I want to make them as aesthetically pleasing as I can. So that's why I sometimes just use under cupboard lighting, so that it's not too bright. And these are the cabinet that this is in my dining room here. Actually, it's in this cabinet here behind me. So as you can see, she is stunning. She has this long tendril. I did knock a leaf off of her, I think. It's either a leaf or it's a peduncle. So there we have the Hoya Joy Splash. I think she's gorgeous. Next up is, let's see, what do we have here? I have to think about this for a second. Oh, this is my Wilbur Graves China. Now this is a tricky little one. So as you can see, I have some incredible variegation on some of the leaves. Oops. And I actually cut this for Paula, and she got amazing variegation out of her leaves. But my leaves are losing that, like, they're still beautiful, but they're losing that strong variegation. So I did actually just cut it back, and I popped a cutting back in here to try and promote new growth from this splashy cutting here. So fingers crossed that will happen. It's a great grower. It was a one leaf cutting when I bought it. This is in my Fabricore cabinet. The light in there is specifically a grow light, but not an expensive one. But isn't it just gorgeous? I love this plant, and I have been using these little hydroponic pots, and I'm loving them. They're a nice size, they're inexpensive. Let's see what's going on here. You can see the roots are going into the water, and I'll put a link below if anybody wants to take a look at them. I like them for the cabinets because I like to keep my pots small inside the cabinets. So I'm trying now to transplant most of my Hoyas that are established, that are no longer cuttings, into these pots. So I think actually most of the ones I've shown you so far have been in this. This is another one, and it's still, you can see, I just have it in a plastic pot because it was rooting, but I can actually move it now. I think it's the Larissa, yeah. Oh, Lord, guys, look. Isn't she gorgeous? So again, it was a one leaf cutting from you-know-who, my Paula. Obviously an amazing plant friend, but also an amazing personal friend. Paula and I have become very good friends through plants, which is another thing I love about this plant hobby, that we get to meet some really lovely people. And Paula has just been incredible. She's been so good to me, and I wouldn't have half of these plants, honestly, if she wasn't my friend. So this is the Hoya Larissa, so cute. And she's ready now, really, to go into one of these little white pots. Oh, I have to show you this. This is the Hoya Coracia, I believe it's pronounced. And again, Paula, she gave me this one leaf cutting, and now I have this new growth in her. Isn't it gorgeous? Now I know some people's are way splashier, but I'm fine, perfectly fine with this. I think it's beautiful. I think I will now take a cutting of this, put it back in, and maybe see if I can promote this strong variegation here, but it's fine. If it doesn't get to that stage, it's still really gorgeous. The leaf on this is quite thin compared to a lot of the others. Like the Fuaences is very thick. Actually, all of the others are a lot thicker than this. And I think that's what leads to this kind of, you see, it's got kind of little crimpled look to it. But I just think it's stunning. So the Hoya Coracia. I can hear Kieran whistling. I don't know if any of you can hear him. He's still out in the garage building this car. This is my Hoya Sarowok. And I took a couple of cuttings. I actually have a few cuttings even in these cabinets of this. And it is just gorgeous. It sits in my kitchen window. So it gets southwesterly sun. It's very, very happy. You can see the beautiful leaves on it. And it has a new growth point there. And it has never flowered for me. I just love this plant. I love the large leaves. Can we see that beautiful large leaf there? Isn't she stunning? I imported a couple of these from Thailand a couple of years ago. I did actually sell some, and then I think this was originally one cutting, possibly two cuttings, and then I have made cuttings from it since. There are some newer leaves, and it does get a slightly sun-stressed because of the brightness in the window, but it's probably not strong enough to fully sun-stress them. However, this here, my Clemensorium, this gets sun-stressed in the same window. So the Sarowok is in the very same window as this. Again, it's a southwesterly window. I've done videos on my kitchen, so you've seen the window before. But I cannot get over how red my Clemensorium is. Have a look. So that was the original leaf that it came with. You can see there was damage. It came with that piece cut off of it. And then this is all, can you see the new growth? Can you see the redness on this one here? And you can see the leaves are not quite as large as what they came with, but they are still gorgeous. I've seen lots of different Clemensorium, but I particularly love mine. It's very, very veiny, very thick, like good strong leaves. It's such a pretty plant. And that's the thing with these Hoyas. I'm trying to find where I am here. That's the thing with these Hoyas that we import. Again, they're not all identical. You know, there's some plants that, you know, you can absolutely tell straight away, yes, that's a Hoya Nicholsonii New Guinea Ghost, or, you know, an Australis Lissa, even the Sarowok. But some of these newer species that we're getting in, like the Ache, the Clemensorium, the Tangamus, there seems to be just ever so slightly a difference in the leaves amongst the plant community. And I'm not sure what that is, but I have seen other Clemensorium that are equally as beautiful, but they don't look exactly like mine. I did want to touch on mental health for a moment. So I have spoken on here before about my journey with mental health. I have a diagnosis of PTSD. Sorry, Kieran is doing something out in the garage. I can hear him. I hope you guys can't. But I haven't spoken about it in depth, but this is really one of the main reasons why I've come back to YouTube, because just to give you a little snapshot of what happened, there was actually a shooting in my workplace. I'm not going to go into the details because obviously there was a long process involved. My sense of safety has been so compromised because of it, and due to that, it kind of forced me to retire early. Now I'm almost 60. I'll be 60 in 5 months' time, so you know, it's not like I'm really young retiring. I've always had very high ambitions with regards to my career, and I have always worked very hard and strived to be the best I could be. So having had very responsible positions, like I owned 2 bookstores in Ireland, the position I had here, I was the manager, I ran the corporation, and then to go from that to this, and now not having that sense of security to go back out to work and not doing my YouTube videos, I definitely went into a slump. So this whole journey of YouTube is actually for me, and if you guys come along with me, that's amazing. I don't monetize, it's something for me to do. So in a way, it's kind of like a job. So I've made a decision that I'm going to make this my job. This is going to be my career. I'm not going to gain from it financially because I'm not interested in, you know, getting involved in all the taxes and everything that are involved and giving your details to the US with YouTube. These are all new conditions that they brought in, and I'm really not interested in doing that. So I am going to make this my kind of like volunteer work, right? Okay, I'm going to come on here to show you my plants, maybe bring you some joy, and then in return give me a purpose. So I took out plants to show you while I was talking, and I didn't show you any of the plants, but I will quickly show them to you now. This here was my top cutting of my Hoya Argentea. So this is the second time I've had to cut her. So you can see she is now a Hoya Nova Ghost. So she's still 2 leaves. I'll show you maybe in my next video. She grows quite quickly, puts out new leaves, but each new leaf that comes out is reverted. It's quite common with this plant, so I'm just going to keep cutting it until hopefully someday I will get some variegated leaves. So I just thought I'd show you that. So that's a top cutting of my Argentea Princess, which is now a Nova Ghost, but it's still gorgeous. I do have another Nova Ghost as well, but it is pretty beautiful, isn't it? Okay, this here is the Tequila Sunrise. Again, it was a 1-leaf cutting I bought, and it has put out these 2 new leaves. When it gets a little more established, I will transplant it into one of my white pots. I actually need to order some more of them, but I just thought I would show that to you. She's very pretty also. If you saw my video where Tony from Quirky Lemon brought me some cuttings. So this is the Hoya Polyneura out of variegation, and I had a little trouble with her. She was doing great, and then I almost killed her. So I rerouted her, and these are the new leaves. And as you can see, we got a fully white leaf. Fully white leaf there. And now these ones are kind of getting back on track. However, they're very small. I'm going to put it back in my Fabricore cabinet to see if I can get the leaves to grow bigger. This was the original leaf well, there were 2 leaves, but that's one of the original leaves. Getting off the Hoya topic, guys, I wanted to show you this. So this is the Adansonii variegated, but it's the Indonesian one. So you can see it's not white variegation, well, it's kind of a creamier variegation. I did a plant trade. If any of you know Dan the Hoya Man from Toronto, he is on Instagram. So we did a trade. I gave him some Hoya Nicholsonii New Guinea Ghost, and he brought me this cutting. It was a 1-leaf unrooted cutting, and as you can see, it has taken off, and I just have it in pond now, but you can see the roots are in the water. I will move this into a bigger pot than these little white ones. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. As always, if you watched till the end, don't forget to put the green heart emoji in the comments. And if you have come back, or if you're new here, I appreciate you and thank you so much.